wasn't sure about going to like a fertility specialist. My sister-in-law told me about this holistic natural way. I had been going to him for a few months, and he suggested I go see this endocrinologist who focuses a lot on female fertility. And so we found out that she had me take this test, the 5 MTHFR test, and I ended up having that mutation. So basically it's mutation on a gene, and you can get, you can either have one mutation, which is from one parent, and the other parent was fine, or the other parent also had a mutation or something. Anyways, I can't remember how it's expressed. Well, I have 2 mutations on that gene, so I have double. Okay, so I realized I did not specify really what the MTHFR mutation is. So when I was kind of telling about our infertility journey, so basically MTHFR, the mutation on the gene, is basically, I'm trying to think of what would be the easiest thing to kind of just say. Like, you can go Google it if you want, but basically my body does not like the synthetic form of folic acid. So folic acid is like the synthetic name for folate. So my body holds on and like that folic acid whenever I have any form of folic acid, that it's toxic. So it's like my body holds on to it and it's a toxin and it makes my body sick. So folate is like its real name, and you can get that by eating like really good vegetables like greens and other things. So I don't want to look it up, so you guys can look it up. It's like this really, it's just this thing. So basically I need the natural form of folate because my body does not like the synthetic form and believes it's a toxin instead of something that would be beneficial for me. Because some people can handle that, and that's fine, but my body cannot handle it. And it's kind of funny to find out that I have this because they've linked lack of folate in the woman's body to spina bifida. So even if I was able to conceive and carry a child, like, it's very possible I could have had a child with spina bifida. So it's kind of interesting that we ended up, I just think it's interesting that something that affects my body, like something like that I could have had a biological child with what Jackson has. And so anyway, so there's like other things that you can do to kind of help and stuff, but like you just have to make sure you're on a good form of folate, that your body, like, it's up to where it needs to be, and like, because you're supposed to take a certain, like, you're supposed to have a certain amount of milligrams of folate in your body. And so because I can't have the folic acid, like, it's really good, it's best if I don't have like a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Processed foods, because it uses, so I have to like really read ingredients, and if it says folic acid, like, I can't have that because my body would hold on to it and it would make my body sick because it would It's saying you have something in you that is not good. So I know this is kind of like a weird explanation, but that's basically what it is. And so you can either have one or two mutations, because you get one from each parent, from what I understand. And I got both. So, and that's called homozygous. If you just got one, it's heterozygous, but I've got both, so that's called homozygous. So I am doubly loved from that mutation. But anywho, I just wanted to kind of inform you what the MTHFR mutation gene thing is. So, I don't know. So that's a bit of like the background story of our infertility. Now, emotion-wise, that's not the end of it. When you're going through infertility, and before you can move on, and before you end up figuring out things, you get attacked with all these things, and I think Satan has part of it, because he likes to destroy your self-esteem, and he likes to destroy your worth. But I had thoughts of I'm being punished for something I've done in my life. I felt less than a woman. Like, I felt like I wasn't much of a woman because I couldn't conceive. I felt like my mind just went blank, and I had something else in my mind, what I wanted to say. I felt just worthless. I felt alone. I felt like God wasn't listening to my prayers. I felt anger towards God. And then I felt terrible for having those anger problems towards God, because I knew He loved me, and I knew He loved me and was aware of what I was going through. I hated anyone asking, well, when are you gonna have kids? Because they didn't know we were struggling to build a family. I just felt all these like conflicting emotions when friends or family said that they were expecting again and again and again, like, because there were some that had 2 or 3 kids by the time we adopted Jackson. I felt so hurt, and then I felt bad because I wasn't feeling supportive. I wasn't feeling happy. I had to like really work through my emotions, and like sometimes it worked really fast, like within a day or two I felt pure joy for them, but sometimes it took a few weeks to finally be like, okay. I wanted you guys to know, if you're going through infertility, that you're not alone, that you will have these thoughts of, well, I'm not really a woman if I can't do this, or like, why can't, like, getting pregnant should be easy, like, why isn't it easy? You know, and feelings of worthlessness and everything, like, you're not worthless. It's not your fault. Like, that's something I would always say to Nels's. It's my fault we can't have kids, and I would, you know, apologize. Because I knew how much he wanted to have kids. We never had him checked out, so we don't know if he... Well, no, he did go to the guy, and he said he was totally fine. So, I don't know. But from what I knew, because my blood test was, my estrogen was high and my progesterone was low, and therefore I could not get pregnant. And if I did, I could not, I couldn't keep the pregnancy. And so, I just want you guys to know that you're not worthless. You're not less than a woman. You know, Nels was there constantly to just hold me while I cried, while I yelled. And so, he was very supportive, and I know it saddened him to see me in so much pain. And I know I wasn't the easiest person because my hormones were so all over the place. I would be all over the place. My emotions were always over the place because my hormones were not regulated. And the endocrinologist helped it not be so bad, but I mean, I'm still have my moments. The medicine I took helped lessen those times of my erratic behavior of yelling and screaming and crying and being happy all in like within 30 minutes of each other. And IVF never felt right for us to move forward with, like to try. And I think it's because since my emotions were already crazy, having to take those hormones that is given, like, I think it would tip me over, and I would never want to go back into that place of my emotions being all over the place because of hormones. Yeah, so that's my infertility story. I want you to know that, and I said this before, I want you to know that you have worth. You're not being punished for something you've done in your past. You didn't choose to have infertility. You didn't choose that. And I would never choose infertility on my worst enemy because it's a debilitating emotional roller coaster of a ride. And like I said, adoption is pretty much the same thing. It's a very big emotional roller coaster. But anyway, I hope my story helps someone to know that they're not alone if they're going through this, and I hope it helps others know what kind of goes through someone's mind as they're struggling through infertility, especially when they're like in the midst of it. People have said, "Oh, you're so strong going through this," and then the adoption process. But you don't feel strong in the moment. You feel weak. And you feel like there's something completely wrong with you. Anyway, if you enjoyed hearing my story, and if it's helped you in any way, please give this video a thumbs up, and please hit the subscribe button and the bell and press the bell notification so you can be notified the next time we post a video. I hope you have a really good day, and we will talk to you and see you next time. Bye.